Now hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another Swiss 001 video. Now guess what plane we are in today? Of course, this is the 777. Yeah, that's all we've got to say. And actually our location that we're in right now is pretty important as well. As you can tell, we are in Las Vegas. Yeah, in the desert of Nevada. And actually how I got this video idea was because of the, the presidential votes and all that stuff actually, because that made me think about Nevada and something that happened in the state of Nevada. An important event, I guess. Yeah, welcome to Las Vegas Airport, McCarran Port Runway 08 left, again in the 777 by British Airways. Now let's go back to 2015 because something very special happened here. To be precise, this happened here. And this as well. Let's analyze this flight today. Everything is right now set up to how it actually was at the actual flight. We have runway 08 left that we're on right now. I think back in 2015, this was still called runway 07 left. Interestingly enough, they changed the number. The heading did not change, but it does sometimes happen that runway numbers change. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and take off because, the thing that happened on the takeoff. Yeah, the plane was on its way to London Gatwick, flying all across the Atlantic Ocean. And that's what we're doing right now. We are kind of commencing this flight. Yep, the plane is running full power. All is looking good. Just yet. Yep, takeoff run is looking good. Oh, it's not looking good at all. Oh my goodness. All right, we need to stop. We actually have to stop now. There we go. All right, that is what we call an aborted takeoff. As you can tell, our left engine has caught fire at 77 knots. There was quite a loud boom there. It happened quite rapidly. Let's check out that one again. As you can see, normal takeoff run. Luckily, runway 08 left is actually the longest runway here at the airport. So that was definitely for the better. The plane had plenty of runway to stop, which it did. Now, as you can see, obviously, the problem is still that the engine is still on fire. The pilots were not able to put out the fire, so the fire department had to do all of that work, which is why there ended up being so much damage here to the fuselage. Now, by the way, this plane was fully fixed within just like a month or so. There we go. Fully fixed 777, new engine, and all of that stuff. And so, yeah, that is what happened at McCarran Airport. Obviously, no one, died in this incident at all. Yeah, actually, even the takeoff wouldn't even have had to be aborted. They could have literally taken off and, done a little bit of a pattern and come in back for a landing. A plane can perfectly fly on one engine, but since the plane was only 77 knots fast, there was pretty much no problem there to stop the aircraft. Obviously, as you can see, we have plenty of runway left. That is perfect about these big airports. Now let's imagine another case, I guess, where we don't have this opportunity of long runway, I guess. Yeah, let's maybe hop into a 737 and go to a place like, London City. Let's go ahead and do a aborted takeoff here. Alright, welcome to quite another location, of course, London City here with the 737. Actually, you don't really see 737s fly here. The biggest plane that can really fly here is the A318, because as you can tell, this is not a very long runway. Now let's imagine the same case as we did with the 777 here in Las Vegas. We have an engine failure before the V1 speed. Yeah, I mean, I've already mentioned the V1 speed. Basically, that when you actually hit that V1 speed, that speed decides whether it's too late to abort a takeoff or not. If you have an engine failure after hitting the V1 speed, then you would maybe actually go ahead and take off and try, landing this plane again. Again, a plane can kind of fly on only one of the two engines. So let's just try doing that. Actually, here we can very accurately set it all here in the flight simulator. We can have engines fail at an exact speed. So let's just go for 120 knots. Maybe that's a little fast, but the V1 speed of a 737 is usually at 140 knots. Let's just go ahead and have this done. So yeah, this will be a very close deal. Let's just go ahead, disengage the brakes here. And why is there a takeoff warning? Whatever, let's just go ahead and take off. There we go, we are speeding. There we go, we are gaining speed very nicely. 80 knots, 100 knots, 120 knots. Oh no, we have lost both engines actually. We will not be able to take off again. Alright, let's try using the reverse thrust of these burning engines to try and not overrun here into the water, which is actually what you will find here at the end of the runway. Oh Jesus. Oh, this will be a close deal. This will be a very close deal. Yeah, no, yeah. Oh. Oh, all right, close enough. Maybe we can actually put out the fire here from the cockpit. We're usually able to do that. Now we can all evacuate the aircraft, and we have come to kind of a safe stop. There we go. Yeah, let's revisit this takeoff again. There we go. We were about to take off when the engine fire started happening around here. Here in the replay mode, we can actually not see the fire, unfortunately, for some reason. But, alright, that just doesn't show up for some reason. But, as you can tell, I was trying to use the reverse thrust of the burning engines, which, I mean, it kind of did help a little bit. But, you know, we did end up almost crashing there. Alright, well, yeah, this was actually a safe stop there, a safe takeoff abortion. But what we can try is actually doing the same thing, but not deciding to, abort the takeoff. What happened if the engines were to fail after the V1 call out at, for example, 140 knots? Both engines, actually. That would be a very interesting challenge. Let's just see. This is quite an interesting one. I mean, things can always happen. It's highly unlikely even for one engine to fail. I mean, it doesn't happen like at all these days. That's definitely nothing to worry about. So yeah, let's just go ahead and take off. There we go. Why is there something wrong with the takeoff config? I have no idea. Alright, there we go, it's fixed. Alright, things are looking quite good. The nose is already coming up. This aircraft is only lightly loaded, and no, we have lost both engines. But we're just gonna continue anyway, because we're too fast. Yeah, that was not good. But yeah, we have actually lost both engines though. Something we could try is actually just returning back to the airport. We have no time, so we're just gonna try to do this quickly. The engines are still kind of providing some power, which is giving me hope. See, I'm purposely not turning them both off. Sharp angle there. We have to get this over with. We have to get back to the airfield. The runway is ahead somewhere. Oh, are we going to make this? This is gonna be a close call. Luckily, this has actually never happened, and won't happen actually here at London City Airport, but it might. There's always a chance. So let's just try here. I think this is going to be a successful landing. We still have quite a lot of power. There we go. That was definitely not a smooth landing. I tried putting this one as smoothly as possible on the runway, but it did not want to. Alright, let's try stopping this plane as soon as possible. Come on, and we have landed. I guess. Not a very nice landing at all, and I did not follow any checklist or procedures or anything, because, you know, I was just trying to make it back to the airport as quickly as possible, which kind of did work after all. Now, the landing was so bad that it fractured the nose landing gear, as you could see here. Not a very good one, but not a fatal crash there. That was successful enough. That was alright. Yeah, that's what happens here at London City Airport every day, I guess, right? Alright, now we'll come back to the south of France. Here we have another special airport, maybe even a more dangerous airport. Yeah, this is La Mole. This is a 1,200 meter long runway, and we still see jets flying here. Like this one, or the RJ-145. Very interesting plane. This one, it can perfectly fly at 1,200 meters of runway. Unless something goes wrong, which is going to happen. Let's go ahead and have both engines die. Let's go. There we go. Fail at exact speed of 100 knots. How about that? That's like a fair amount. This will even be a more tougher challenge, but let's just see if this plane can handle it. It does accelerate quite quickly, so there may be hope. Let's go ahead and get the flaps ready and all that stuff as well, so that we can perfectly fly off, which we are probably not going to do. But that is, we're going to see that later on. There we go. We have lost both engines now. Both are indicating fire, but we are taking off anyway, actually, because we were far above the V1 rate. Now we are flying this plane with two engines that are on fire. We don't like that at all. Let's try returning back to the airport. The engines are actually working quite well, just yet. We still have a little bit of power left, so let's just try making it back to the airport, which is quite an extensive challenge. Let's go ahead. Turning left very much. I don't like that, actually. But let's just see. Maybe we can make it. Maybe we can make it. Come on, more power, more power. Alright, we are gaining speed again, and we are actually coming in quite nicely on this landing. I'm very confident that this is going to work out. Oh, now the engines have completely died. That's it now. That's all we've got. So let's take the shot. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and stop as quickly as possible. There we go. And I've actually managed to land this plane quite well. This was quite nicely pulled off, right? There we go. Here's the landing from the outside view. Very interesting one. And here you can see I'm coming in again quite nicely. Pretty safe landing there, huh? Alright, let's try a bigger plane here then. Maybe one that will not be able to make it after an engine failure or something. That will force us to actually try stopping. Yeah, trying is probably the good word for that. Alright, 757, let's try this here. Set this as a failure again. Let's make the engines completely fail so we won't have like a little bit of power left. We will definitely have to stop and not try, you know, taking flight and then returning. This will not happen. Alright, you know, we have already reached like 80 knots. Let's go ahead and turn those engines off, and they are immediately dead. So we're gonna want to stop very much now. The people at the ground are very much wondering what the plane is right now up to, but it does seem like we are stopping. There we go. That was pretty good. Yes, see, planes are pretty well protected against, you know, having engine failures, even, you know, on takeoff or landings. So that's all good. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night.